Brigands and goblins lay siege to the great smeals of Tuckborough. Provisions are running low, and time is running short.
Welcome back, everyone, to Piney Plays The Archer, the Lord of the Rings Online. And today, we are running Trouble in Tuckborough, the first of the skirmishes that you can unlock. Well, technically, of course, there are... You can unlock 3 skirmishes at level 20. But I always consider Tuckborough to be the first, partly because it's in the Shire, so it has that thought of it because of all the hobbits I play on there. And also because it's an offensive skirmish, I have a preference on offensive ones, so therefore I always think of this one as being before Gondomar. And since you have to pay for its normal Methodress, and that one came out much later, that one, of course, I also think of as being the third one unlocked. So therefore, I am running Tuckborough first. There we go. Cleared out the first of the control points. Let's check to see what we get here. 3 marks! Yay! And let's see what we get in our counterattack. Goblins, of course. And many of them. Now, I had already run this skirmish before. Unfortunately, I had some technical difficulties on the first attempt to do so, meaning I forgot to hit the record button. As a result, I'll be trying this again. Now, the hobbits here, they are, of course, potentially useful, but of course, they can also potentially get killed. So I have to be careful about using them in this particular situation. Usually if I'm playing a more resilient class, I will tend to stay in front and just keep them safe. But as a hunter, I find myself, I don't know why I'm using the melee weapon there, but as a hunter, I prefer to get a little bit of help from the hobbits up there to spread around everything. Now, of course, I do have my herbalist here, and my herbalist will be able to help to absorb some of the damage, especially in those situations where I don't have any help just now. Right now, Trouble in Tuckborough also is an interesting test on the hunter because this is a rather dense skirmish, but there is plenty of room for kiting, so this is a interesting situation with a blue line hunter such as I'm playing right now, because I have plenty of room to kite. I just have to make sure that I don't allow myself to get trapped and overwhelmed by all the enemy forces. There we go, good. Let's go back down here for this one. That's weak. Jeez, man, the weak ones are easy to clear out, of course. Now, at low levels, mobs tend to be relatively weak in general, so that makes combats a lot faster at lower levels, and that results, of course, in the defenders also being a little bit weaker. And that's another reason why I am concerned sometimes making sure I don't allow the bounder to become overly... What do I have here? Oh, Shepherd. Oh, this is going to be real fun. Actually, no, I probably shouldn't have shot that out right now. Oh well, that was like... worst handling of a Shepherd of Filth I've had in a while. Yeah, that was completely wrong. I should not have used my multi-arrow until after the Shepherd brought out. Then I could have shot out and maybe have gotten many of those crawlers out in the process. But alright. That didn't work out very well. Now let's see what I got. Another Shepherd of Filth, just in case I had trouble with the first one. Now the best thing to do with the Shepherd of Filth, of course, is to kill it as quickly as possible so that it never brings out the crawler. So let's see if I can do that. Yeah, that's a much better way of handling it. Last time I was a bit surprised by it, didn't know it was coming out, and sometimes when you do that, you make the wrong decision, especially if you're trying to give commentary or something like that. And let's go with it. At least this time I don't have the same encounters that I had during the first run I made. First run I had the digger, and I would have gotten the message by now if you were coming along. There we go. I had the digger and the bear. So let's see if I get any. Well, I should get at least one here. The sickle flies from the willow. Alright. And one mark. Yippity-doo. That, I guess, is about expected about what I would have gotten in that case. One mark. Let's see. What do we have here? Deathmonger. I'm not going to... A bit tricky of deciding whether or not to go for the bear now. Because I have to go for the bear eventually. So therefore, what I'm going to do is I'm going to clear out this area, take the control point, do the defense, and then go after the both of them. That's a bit risky because I could potentially wind up drawing more than one, drawing the bear and one of the sickle flies at the same time. But if I'm careful, that should not happen. Because that should only happen if I go around attacking the bear too close to the flies. There we go. Alright, and this warrior here. Okay, that is anyone out? There has to be somebody else. Oh, right here. Good, and that'll clear out this area. Alright, Eastern Hillside claimed. Now, as for how much this should be 3 marks, yes. Roar. Fine, that's expected. Now, as for mark awards in this one, the mark awards are done in what I call blocks. And what happens in these blocks is that there is the number of marks that you get within each block that you get. So, for example, I got 10 at this one, and mark award should be somewhere around, well, my estimate right now is around 0.23 per, so if you get 10 marks, then I would expect to get, well, 2.3, and actually, no, not 2.3, 0.26. Yes, not 2.3, 0.26. So 2.6 and 2.6 gives you rounds up to 3 because it rounds into the nearest value. Now, I'm not going to go after Big Fright until after he's clear of those sickle flies. That's the reason why I'm usually reluctant to go after Big Fright and sickle flies at the same time, but I figure if I'm careful, I should have no trouble in doing it. And that way I only have to worry about one trip to this board. Yeah, that was just that's the thing about Blue Line is that, actually about the Hunter in general, interrupts are not exactly the best bet for the Hunter because they tend to be up close. And since they are up close, that means that I have to get right in their face in order to do it, and of course hunters don't naturally go into the face. Now yes, it is possible, there is something called distracting shot, I don't have that yet, that can cause some trouble, and there's Bard's Arrow also that can do it. I don't know if it's possible to get those in this line. Distracting shot, that sounds like a very definite yellow line item, so I have a feeling I won't be able to get distracting shot here anyway. But with the Bard's Arrow, assuming I can do that in this line, yeah, it can be used at range, and it will, of course, interrupt because it causes the fear and all that stuff. The trouble is the inductions are a little bit of a pain. Now, we do have Cry of the Hunter. That is probably actually the best bet for an interrupt. Now, of course, it does have a bit of a 2-minute cooldown, and that's the disadvantage of using Cry of the Hunter as an interrupt, because you're not going to be able to do it all that often. But there we go. 5 marks for the there. That's on line with 0.26 because you get 20. And that's actually in all skirmishes where you get 20 blocks whenever you complete an encounter. So 26, 50, that'd be 5.2, and 5.2, yes, rounds to 5. Actually, let me throw down a trap here. Now, traps, of course, aren't the specialty of this line, but I'm not going to be able to move too much anyway because the Stormkeeper doesn't like moving all that much. So, kiting is not going to be one of the easier things to do. And, of course, now I got an archer to worry about. And, alright, she's down. Actually, I might as well go after him since the herbalist should be able to take care of one by herself without any trouble. Good, and that'll be it. Jeez. Okay, that is cleared. Take this for another 3 marks. And of course, actually, I'd rather have the trap during the second counterattack anyway, because that's going to be when I'm going to be facing the lieutenant. And it's best to save it for then. And well, I want to, of course, not have them on me. Actually, probably the best for them to be on will be the herbalist. It looks like he's on the hops. As I said, I don't want to risk them too much, even if I do want to get their help a little bit. And we got a Stormkeeper here. I really miss the dummy that you get as the in yellow line, but I need to learn the advantages of this line as well. Okay, there we go. Because each line has its own things to offer, and I'm just so used to using yellow line, I might as well learn what I can do in the blue line. As far as I know, the red line is just pure damage, and pretty much it. Yeah, there we go. Okay, Zealot. So we'll do this without getting too much done by the Zealot. Oh, how many did I get there? I thought I might have only 1 or 2 there. Oh, okay. Oh, good. The Zealot and friends are going after the herbalist. And that means I will get an opportunity to take care of there. Nice using the herbalist as a bit of a tank. That's one of the reasons why I use an herbalist. That plus hopefully to get a few heals on occasion. With situations like that, even if she heals herself instead, it works. As long as she does enough healing in order to attract the attention of the mobs. Alright, now let's see. Shepherd of Phil. Now let me try what I did last time and trying to get the Shepherd down as fast as possible. Now Shepherd of Phil is like many of the lieutenants in solo runs. And those lieutenants in solo runs, they have the morale of a normal mob rather than as a signature, even though they're listed as signatures. I suspect that they have mitigations. Actually, I've seen the mitigations on some of them, so they do have better mitigations than a normal mob would. But they're a bit brittle on the morale side. They jump up to morales more reasonable for their scaling when you go up to the higher level skirmishes. There we go. What's the third one? Alright. Yeah, I was wondering just in case there was an archer there, because if there were an archer there, I would have wanted to take down the archer first. Though, of course, actually the spear chucker is there. That's the reason why the other one's coming out, because of the trap. So yeah, the trap didn't help me all that much. It just ensured that the enemy would be attacking me instead of the herbalist. So I have to keep that in mind when being sparing with the traps in certain circumstances. Yeah. Alright, there we go. And there goes our boss. And we take our control point. I think I saved all the hobbits there, which is good. Yep. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hobbits alive, plus of course Paladin. And that completes Trouble in Tuckborough, our first skirmish. And next time we will head for Gondaman, where we'll have a lower density, but a lot of our mobility is going to be handled by the pacing of the skirmish itself. So I have to keep that in mind. But overall, I think it should go well, but we'll see that in the next episode of Piney Plays The Archer, The Lord of the Rings Online.